Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This is A Life Well Spent. My name is Kelly, and on this channel I document my financial journey. So we talk about a lot of different money things. As I learn more and get into more things, I'm going to start talking actually a little bit about investing here in a minute because yeah, I have decided I am just finally going to fund an IRA and max that out every year and sort of figure out where I'm going with investing. And so as I learn things, I will share them. I'm definitely still budgeting, obviously. I've just made a contribution to my IRA, be a line item budget. It has been a while since I've been here. I mean, not a while, it's been a couple weeks. And I've been kind of doing some regular stuff. If you watch my budget video, I get into it in a little bit more specifics. My budget for August video. This is the budget video where I wrap up or close out my budget for July. And the reason, I look the exact same. I literally just filmed it about 15 minutes ago. It has been a crazy couple of weeks. And again, I get into it a lot more in a lot more detail in my August budget. But the short version is that I was away, so I didn't actually get to do one of my weekly wrap-up videos, and then I didn't have time to do this closeout video or even any kind of privacy because we were having issues with a caregiver. My father was actually being abused by his caregiver, which sucks. And again, I go into a little bit more detail in the August video because I just kind of got going and I went, and I don't care. I wish I knew the man's full name or I'd call him out. We're definitely going to be reporting it. We reported it to his bosses. They should legally have to report it, and we should find out in a week or so. We should be getting a call from an agency, and if we don't, we know they didn't report it, and we will. So that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, so that meant that I was barely home, and I was at my parents' house all the time, which doesn't really allow for the privacy to film anything. So I'm doing it all now. I owe several videos. I don't think I'm going to do any kind of weekly spending videos. It seems sort of moot at this point. I'm filming on August 9th, and I think I owe a week 3 spending wrap up, and then this one, which is the closing out my budget. So I think I'm just going to skip the week 3 wrap up. That doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense right now. I had hoped to do one, but it's kind of been a perpetual problem. Things have finally evened out. We've gotten who I assume is going to be a good caregiver. Can't be any worse than the one we just had. But yeah, it's been a little crazy. Our nighttime caregiver for him is awesome. We love her. But her mother just tested positive for COVID and tested positive the same day that she spent time driving around in a car with her and running errands and stuff. So we've lost her, so that might mean, I need to spend some evenings at my parents', and things are just nuts. So anyway, I'm going to try to wrap this up as quickly as possible and close out my budget and show you how I did. I had initially intended on keeping kind of a separate budget for my trip, and this is going to look a little messy. I apologize in advance. So I was taking a trip somewhere. I didn't really know where. I ended up going to where my niece lives. And, I went with a friend, and, we had a great time. But while I was out there, I was able to see my niece, and my mom wanted me to take her for some clothes, some back to school clothes, because it's that time. And so I did that with the intention of, my mother was going to pay me back for everything, and she just kind of said hey, go get her some things for school. Okay, so there are some purchases on here that I certainly didn't budget for, certainly weren't planning for, but my mother gave me the money for, so it, kind of evens out. But that's kind of where, if you look at my transaction register this week and this month, I went straight off. I only had so many, cells coded and colored, but I went straight off. I had to add them. So fun times. So yeah, so there's that. And so some of it's hard to kind of say oh, what was trip money and what was, what did I spend on the trip? And what did I actually spend versus what my mother spent and all of that. So I just decided to kind of leave it as is. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be in the end. Okay. So monthly budget for July, important thing, this is a 3-pay month. And in that final pay of the 3-pay month is when our raises started. So, but in that third pay, we don't take any deductions. So if you contributed to a 403B or HSA or something like that, or supplemental insurances of some kind, you don't pay them on the third pay. So the third pay is always really weird. It's like, because you don't get that pre-tax stuff deducted, the amount you're taxed is different. And if you get a raise in there, you're kind of not sure, like, well, how much of this is raise? How much of this is just because it's the third pay and the other stuff isn't taken out? Like, what's happening here? So anyway, with that third pay, my income for the month from my day job was $4,476.90, is what I budgeted for. Sorry. But I forgot that we were getting our raises. So my actual income, $4,616.60, which is sweet. Love it. I budgeted for my mother to give me $291, and that pays for our internet / TV package, which is truly basically for my dad. And it pays for my student loans, which is an agreement we had a long time ago that they'd pay for me to go to school. They just wanted me to take out loans and do it this way. I don't know. And our cell phone bill, we split a cell phone bill. She ended up giving me $821 because of everything I spent on the trip on my niece. So total income this month, actually, $5,437.60. All right. My giving, the $10 went. It's a weird way that I set it up. It was dumb, and I will probably change it. I don't even know if I know how, but I wanted to put all of my giving money into a fund so that I could have like regular contributions come out of that, and then anything that, like, you know, I wanted to be able to have money in a fund somewhere so that if there was a giving opportunity, I could give and not feel like concerned about, you know, my budget or anything like that. So instead I put the money over there, and it was dumb. So, but this is coming out of a different account, which is why I keep it in there. My mortgage, $676.03. My electric bill this month in July was $36.57. Natural gas, $26.12. Sewer is $58. That's a flat rate. Water, I actually gave myself more because I had a running toilet, and so I thought it was going to go over. And it didn't. I was $18.97, which is the flat, like, that's the minimum. It's a flat rate, but it's like the minimum flat rate. And then after that, it's, you know, so much per gallon or cubic, I don't even know. But I rarely ever go over it anyway. Like I said, I had a running toilet, so I thought I might run into that problem. And it helps that I didn't really have a garden this year, so I don't really have much to water. My internet bill, that changed this month, and I only expected $125, I ended up paying $139.62. Cell phone, $55.34. Groceries, $161.38. Life insurance, $7.50. Gas in my car, $118.40. And really that went over because I kind of gassed up like the last day of the month, which just happened to be more convenient. You know, I'm not going to not gas up now because I'm just going to wait it. I mean, that seems silly to me. Because there's plenty of times where I won't be using much gas at all because I won't be really going anywhere, or, you know, if I gassed up at the end of the month, that's just one less tank I'll get in August. So, is what it is. My parents, $421.81 of money I did not plan on spending. My niece's brokerage account, we put $100 into that. I spent $14.77 on my house and garden fund. I spent $72.42 at restaurants. Now, that's restaurants that are not included in my trip. I kept that into like personal and miscellaneous. One or the other. I'm not really sure how I divvied those up, but I'd have to look over at the register, and off the top of my head, I just don't know. But anyway, so that's other eating out times. All right, personal spending, I went a little over, it's $470.88. A lot of that was the trip. I bought wine. That did not help. It was very good wine, though. Miscellaneous $519.97, a little under there. So I'm kind of okay with being a little over in one, I'm a little over in the other one. And I just named this miscellaneous because I didn't want to have like a trip category for like 1 month. That just seems silly. So, it's what it is. And then $500 to my Roth IRA. And I've actually thought about doing this, and let me know if you guys do something similar. So when I looked at my third pay is usually like around $1,500, a little over $1,500, although with my raise now it was like 16 something. And I thought about that, and I thought, if I use that third pay, because I don't budget using the third pay, I budget everything based on the two pays. So if I just took that $1,500 or $1,600 of that third pay, if I just took that and instead of, doing $500 a month to my IRA, I could take those two pays and I would be halfway to my IRA. I could do $250 a month. And maybe that would be a little bit easier month to month. So I may end up doing that. We'll see. $200 to my student loans. Okay, we get down here to different funds. Put $50 in my car repair fund. I put $100 in my house fund. $16 into my Nittany Lion Club. I pay that every year, and so I just, it gets paid in January. It's like $200. $15 into my garbage fund, which again I pay once a year, so I just keep putting like what I would normally pay month to month in there. Giving fund, $74. That's basically what's left with. I take the 16 because this is actually a donation. So I take the 16 and the 10 and I've got 74 left, and that goes in my giving fund. $59 for my car insurance and $50 for a gift fund. And I was actually able to put $1,475.82 into my student loan fund. So that's awesome. I am pretty psyched about that because that means that I am 53.45% away. I have almost $7,000 of the just over 13 that needs to be in there. So that's pretty exciting for me. Pretty psyched about that. Okay. Why is this making me divide by 0? Oh, I didn't put the ending balance in here. That's why it was 109. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to look at that again. Actually, I'm going to double check that. So, while that's getting up here, it's like 13, but I actually want to say it's less than that. 13, like 09 or 19. Yeah, okay, 13,001. And 19 cents. I knew there was like a 119 in there. There we go, 53.45%. Getting there. Okay, so in terms of what I spent $244.85 on a car repair. I think that was getting my oil changed and my car detailed because it needed it. It really needed it. I spent $21.24 out of my escrow fund. So this is for those of you who don't escrow or don't own your own home. I own my own home. I escrow all of like my mortgage or my insurance, taxes, all that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the year, you get kind of a statement, and it's either overfunded or underfunded. If it's overfunded by like more than $50, they have to refund you everything. If it's underfunded, then you owe them. And mine was underfunded by $21.24. So I paid that. You don't have to pay it. You could also just choose to like have it just reflected on your payment, but I don't like to do that. Spent $10 in my giving fund, and I bought a gift for my niece for $11.65. So that is the grand total of all the funds in all of the places. But if you look at this, this is so much spending. So much spending. It was a little crazy of a month, but it included a trip, and oh well, it happens. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you soon.